Okay, it's time for today's CSS Battle. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Doo-doo-doo. I think we'll do it as 4 elements maybe. Yeah. Okay, let's do that first. Set this background to that blue. Let's do the first element. Height of 50 to 130 is 80. White background. Give it some margins. Slightly off. No, that one wants to be higher. This one wants to be lower. Probably 90 by the looks of things. Right, 92. 200. 212. And 28. Nope, 30. Let's just check where we are. I think we're too high actually. So add 10 to that, 40, 50. Beautiful. Right. And then we will do a box shadow 0 minus 20 pixels. Right, that gets us the first one. Now let's add a second one in. This 0 should be what, about minus 180, give or take. Not too much, 120, 110, 120, 130. Okay. And then we shift it. So plus P. So that would actually be minus 70 at that point. And we flip some numbers. So let's just take that, do that, 0, 92, 0, and 212. That's down a bit. Why is that down a bit? Let's make that minus 80. Okay. And then do rotate 90 degrees. Beautiful. Then we add a third. Make this margin 30, 40. And rotate that 180 degrees. Hang on, where's that gone? Why has that done that? Oh no, that's because that needs to stay as 90 degrees, and then here we want to rotate 180. And then we've got one final P, which at the moment will be way, way out of line, but we'll fix it with its margin. rather than anyone else's. So minus 70. Oop, let's give it a margin first. $120. Then 212092, and rotate minus 90 degrees, which is the same as 270 degrees, which is exactly the same number of characters, so we'll just do that. We'll hit submit. And there we go. That is a solution. Now, if we just instead do width 80 as well, then we can set this to 92, get rid of that. Set this one to 212, get rid of that. And set this one to 92, get rid of that. That makes our margins slightly simpler. Did we actually, so we added 4 characters doing that, which is a bit annoying, but whatever. Minify, unit replace. That's not a bad score, but I think we were better when the width wasn't specified, so let's go back a bit to where we still had all the margins in place and no width. Take those out again, do a minify, unit replace, and submit. Can you do rotate by percentages? I don't know, let's try 25%. No, you can't. Is there anything else we can chop from this? Not really. Not really at all. Right, now, is there any other way we could have done this? How about instead of a I think even if we made it a border rather than the box shadow, we've got it's longer than it would be. So let's not do that. I can't see an easier way at the moment. Making the white squares is easy enough. We could do that with a conic gradient on a we could do that with a conic gradient on a nested template. In fact, let's start with that. Let's just see what happens. So background like that. This background we're going to temporarily make white, and then we'll set some margins on it. So what? 70? Nope. 60. 50. And 90. Let's just see how close we are. Right, 50's right, 90 is not enough, let's try 100. Okay. Then we'll make this a conic gradient. So that box is 80 by 80, so at 80 pixels, 80 pixels, transparent for 75%, and then white, and then we will not shift it anywhere, and we'll give it what, 120 pixels by 120 pixels. It's shifted off the top, which is annoying. There we go. That should get us those. Now it's just working out how to get those black lines round it. We could potentially use some box shadows to do it, maybe, but it starts getting complicated. So let's try box shadow. We'll go 0 minus 10 pixels, no, minus 20 pixels, and we'll go 20 pixels, 0, and 20 pixels, and minus 20 pixels and 0. Right. That gets us the black lines, but now we need to cover up the tops of them, which I think you can do with another probably 4 box shadows, but it starts getting a little bit iffy. So let's make a box shadow of minus 20 pixels, minus 80 pixels, and make it blue. Except that will go on top and we want it underneath, so let's put it here, put a comma here, get rid of the comma at the front. Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. Because then that, yeah, so although that gets us that bottom corner, oh, well, hang on, 160 plus 40, 200, so minus 200 pixels, that does actually get that bit, and 200 pixels, 80 pixels down, and give it the blue. Right, so that's that one and that one. We need the top and the bottom. So probably minus 80 pixels, 200 pixels, and the color. Yeah, and 80 pixels, 200 pixels, and the color. Minus 200. And that is sort of a solution, but that's a lot. We can shorten this probably by going color and putting that on, and then taking all of these colours out because they will default to that, which means we're getting rid of 4 copies of that, because #123 is much shorter. Oop, not there. There we go. That should be 100% match, probably. Let's have a look. That is a 100% match. Let's minify it. Take off that last brace, unit replace, and submit. It's still longer than the first solution though, so bear that in mind. It's a lot more box shadow on that. So, is there another way that we could do it? What happens if, let's go minify, no, let's start one more time. We set this background to that color again, and this time round we will make the paragraph just slightly different size. So width 80, height 100, background linear gradient white for 80 pixels, and then black. Okay, let's do black for 20 pixels and then white, just so that it's the right way around for me right now. Margin 60 and 92 is too low. Let's have a look at the diff. 60 is far too much. 20, 30, 30 is perfect. Then we do plus P, rotate 90 degrees, and margin minus 100, 212. We've got to remember to actually add the second P first. That's not far off the money. Let's try minus 90. No, 110, 120, and then that's too much, so how about 192, 202, 222. Okay, beautiful. We do rotate 270 degrees. Minus 8. Okay, where has that one gone? Where is this one? Let's try giving it a background of red. Oh, we haven't added it. Duh. Try adding it, and then we can probably set that to 0. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there, but that should also be 180, not what I've got. And then 222, 212, and then downwards we want it 100, 30, 140, 150. How's that? That's in the right place. And then we just need the final P. So plus P rotates to 70 degrees and margin probably minus 90 and 92. Well, okay, where did that go? Oh, it's going to be what? Minus 90 minus 160? 260. And then 72, 82? 82, beautiful. Okay. That should be another 100%. And it is. Then we can get rid of that, that, and that. Minify, unit replace. Still not as short as the first one. Okay. That's all I can think of for now. So we will load up our best scoring one, which I think is 66296, yeah, that one. Just take a quick look, see if there's anything else that we can see. No, that looks reasonably clean. Would it have been cheaper to use scales? No, because they wouldn't rotate it. So no, can't do that. Well, you could use scale -1 to flip it. So you could flip this one to make that one, and you could flip this one to make that one, but let's yeah, there's not a lot you can do there. Okay, so thanks for watching. See you in the next one.